I recently picked up the AMVR controller grip straps for my Pico 4 controllers. Now, something that's quite interesting about these straps is they seem to be available from a lot of companies, and it just seems to be the same product rebranded. If you look closely at the pictures, if you look on Amazon, you'll see the same thing sold by different companies, different brands. Exactly the same thing, we'll just have a different stamp on there, essentially, maybe a different box, but inside will be the same product. So I would say if you're looking at these AMVR ones, also check out some other ones which are branded with different names, as they may be cheaper. And another top tip is I bought these from AliExpress, and they're less than half the price that you'll find them on Amazon for any of these brands. So I would certainly recommend that. If you buy from AliExpress, I bought a few things from AliExpress, and I find it to be, well, when I say a few things, quite a few things. And I find it to be a good service, so don't be afraid, guys. You can save a lot of money. So check the link in the description, get them from AliExpress. You save yourself a bundle on a lot of these sort of things. And often when I'm buying something, for little gadgets and other bits and pieces, I'll look on Amazon and then I'll check it out and see if it's available on AliExpress or even sometimes eBay. But these came from AliExpress. Delivery time, something like about 10 days. Okay, so what do we have? Well, a sort of silicone piece that goes around the back of your hand, so that's obviously flexible. That's on a pivot, and a hard plastic piece there which is sort of in a twisted shape, and something to grip around here. This is okay, that's sort of a silicone piece as well, so that's softish. And on this end we have an elastic band with a sort of plastic U-shaped piece there, which is flexible. So the elastic is covered by a material, so very much like a sort of a hairband or something like that. And this piece here, which has a little button there, so that's for adjusting the tension of the strap around your wrist, so you can easily do that. And it sort of just stays in place, locks in until you want to move it. And this piece here again locks around this somehow, which we'll see in a moment. Okay, so are they labelled? Yes, I think there's something here. Let's have a look there. So yeah, that's for the left one, and there should be R on that one, so that's for right. Okay, let's fit this to the controllers. Okay, so make sure we got the right one. So, well, the left one, because I'm going to put it onto the left controller first here. And this piece goes on here and just like clip it on. I think you just need to push it to the end as well. You can see there's a sort of little ledge there, so just push it all the way there. It's easy enough. Let's just see if it comes off as well. Okay, yeah, it comes off easy as well, so if you needed to remove it, it's not difficult to do. It's sort of non-permanent and it comes off quite easy. So it goes around to the bottom. You will need to take off probably these, at least temporarily, to fit this. Well, to be fair, you don't need the lanyards if you're going to use these. And that goes, okay, it's like a sort of shaped to fit the bottom, like that. And then this sort of latch over the top should just clip in. And yeah, clips out as well. So yeah, easy to remove if you wanted to. And that's it. This is what they look like. Let's put the other one on as well. Snap on. Well, they fit, and I can get to the controls just fine. So it's doing what it's supposed to do. These hand straps they allow me to have a relaxed grip, and they're not going to fall out. I mean, you can see that's absolutely fine. So really nice, actually. It's nice you don't have to have a deft grip. There's no risk of these falling out of my hands whenever I'm playing VR games, no matter how vigorous the game is. And I do like that. So you can just see the fit on my hands. So I have medium-sized hands, and this seems like purpose-built for my sized hands. Small hands will be fine with this as well, of course, but I do wonder if you have like really large meaty hands, if you look at the width there. I mean, there's no for my size hands, there's not much to give, and I have it this completely open, and it's all good for me. But yeah, I think if you have large hands, be wary. I don't think this is going to be good for you, to be fair. Let's tighten it up a bit. So that's the sort of position how I can maneuver the control. So yeah, relaxed and everything is accessible. Now if I tighten them up, what happens is the controller sort of forces itself from that position where it was before, where I could get to everything, to this sort of position, and you can just see that. Do it on both of them. Actually, that's quite useful having that loop there. So if you do want to tighten up and you've got your controller on, in fact, actually that's quite good as well. You can get to that button easy as well. It's well designed actually. They must have thought about this, because when you're grabbing that to tighten it, you're going to be doing it with one finger, so that's pretty good. But as you can see, it's both in that sort of position, sort of forced up there. Now to get to the controls now is certainly, at least for me, a bit more awkward. If you have small hands, maybe it won't make much difference, but for me, I can definitely tell. I mean, the triggers are okay, and I can get to those all right. And the thumb is, I'll say, okay. But to get to those buttons, if you need to use these a lot, those are really, really awkward to get to. I'd say I'm finding it very difficult to kind of arch my thumbs to get around there. I mean, that one's okay. I mean, I guess you could learn to do it and sort of do it like that. I suppose that works. But to get to those, they're really awkward, especially that over here. But yeah, I could do that. But personally, I don't want them super tight anyway. I'd like a slightly more relaxed grip. Typically when you're playing VR with these controllers, you're sort of doing this sort of thing where you're moving the controller around a little bit, maneuvering things, and manipulating it in different sort of positions. So I think you need that freedom of movement. So for me, I'm just going to leave them completely open, because it's still providing the security that I want, where I don't have to have a deft grip no matter what I'm playing. I know it's going to stay in my hand, so that's really good. Beat Saber, whatever it is, any game you're going to, you're moving your hands rapidly around, throwing your hands around, it's going to stay there, and that's pretty comfortable. So that's against my skin there. I don't think it's going to cause an issue with irritation or anything like that. I guess we're going to find out. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to give them a test. I'm going to use them over a few days, and then I'll be back to finish off this video and tell you how I got on. But so far, first impression is, I'd say pretty positive. They seem okay, and yeah, happy with these so far. But yeah, let's find out. Okay, I've been using these now for a few days, and the results are, I'm really, really happy with these. They're absolutely fantastic. And the first thing is, it's so much nicer than using those wrist straps that you get with it, having to kind of fiddle around with them and tighten them up and then putting the other one on and all that sort of stuff. Here, you put them down, you pick them up, and they are secure in your hands. And you can just see that. I can, I really, I'm not, you can see there's no grip there, and it is holding on. These are never going to leave my hands unless you do something really stupid and try and chuck it that way, which you're not. So any just looseness of just cupping the controllers lightly is absolutely fine. Yeah, they're definitely comfortable, and clearly they're secure. So I can highly recommend them for their purpose, because I'm certainly satisfied with these. These are staying on my controllers because they're absolutely brilliant. The things I tested these with were shooting games. Tried it with 11 table tennis and bow and arrow games, and I found it all worked just fine, didn't get in the way, so I was able to manipulate, move the controller, particularly with table tennis. With 11 table tennis, where you need obviously a lot of movement with the rotation of your wrist, but you're also doing a little bit of this manipulation as well, and I found it didn't get in the way of it, other than my dodgy gameplay. But I found it didn't impede the motion of the controller to actually manipulate the paddle, so that's absolutely fine. The other thing I really found useful actually was for shooting games, when you're just holding a pistol, and when you want a little bit of extra support to aim, you might sort of stick your hand like that, which is sort of like you're kind of knocking into the controller. But because this isn't going anywhere and I don't need to grip it, I can do this. I can just pinch my fingers, and I was just doing this sort of, I was holding it like that, and that's really good. The other thing I did as well sometimes was just open palm, and because that's not leaving my hand, Here we go. I was able to just like hold it like that, and it's just really oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay, jump cut. Cat's gone, so I can now finish off this video without any disturbances. Now, the only thing I'm going to end on, some final words, is as I mentioned earlier during the unboxing, I think these are going to be a problem for anyone with large hands. If you have medium-sized hands, small hands, absolutely fine. So note, when I'm using these, I don't actually tighten these at all. If you have small hands, and this is great because you can then obviously snug them up, but that only goes that far. And for me, this is perfect, you know, so I wouldn't want them any tighter than this. This is absolutely fine. So if you have large hands, it's going to be a struggle because I think it's going to be quite tight around there and just around there. I would have liked to have seen them actually bring out another model with a design which is going to cater for slightly larger hands, because I think, you know, these are made for, you know, particular individuals with, I guess, average size hands. So as long as you bear that in mind, these are either going to be like absolutely brilliant for you, or, you know, if you have large hands, they're going to be absolutely a fail for you. So do understand that. So as far as I'm concerned, absolutely essential, brilliant accessory, nicely made, really good value if you get them from AliExpress, and I can highly recommend them. So there you go, guys. That's it for this one. Take it easy, and bye bye for now.